Hello everyone, welcome to your first session with me during the coronavirus crisis. I am going to show you a few exercises today on the stability ball. So make sure that you get your ball out, ensure that it's pumped up just enough so that your hips are a tiny little bit higher than your knees. And create a little bit of space because we're going to move around but not too much. For the warm-up, have a nice upright position on top of the ball. Feeling your sit bones planting down and just staying nice and tall. Chest lifted and head nice and high. Start rolling into one direction, warming up through the hips. And next, change direction and roll into the opposite side. Good. Come back into a nice centered position. Let your hands just hang down the sides of the ball, and we're just going to reach down towards one side and coming back up and reach down the other side and coming back up again. Feel the waist muscles pulling up as you do this. And let's start working with the breath here. We're going to inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. We're going to change the arm position slightly. Inhale down. And then just reach over. Come back up into a centered position. Inhale down. And exhale over. Do a few more times. One more time, to each side. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of hip tilts. So again, arms out in the front this time, and we're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale tall. Two more. We're going to change the arm positioning slightly. As you stay tucked under, open up to the side. Make sure your tummy muscles is pulling in. Follow the eyes, the fingers with the eyes. We're trying to go for 5 repetitions for each of the exercises we're doing today. But listen to your body. If anything does not feel quite right in the spine, then go to the next exercise. Good. the hands behind the head. Try not to pull the head forwards here. And we are going to do another sideways movement. Inhale over, exhale up. Really reaching your elbow up to the ceiling. So that's a little bit of side flexion. We're going to go for forward flexion. Arms in the same position. And inhale forwards. Drop the elbows. Exhale, open the chest to the ceiling. Good. Now we've warmed you up into forward flexion, into side flexion. We are going to do a little bit of rotational work here. Grab a hold of the opposite leg, other arm goes behind you, and just rotate over to one side, looking over the shoulder. Back into center. Back into center. Back into center. Back into center. Thinking about length, we're going to exhale as we rotate. Lengthen up. Lengthen up. Good. So we're ready now to take it a little bit more deeper. Take the ball to the end of the mat. We're going to roll out and do a little bit of abdominal work here. So just gently walk your legs forwards until you get the ball right into the lower spine. Good. From here, support the head and release over the ball. And forwards. And keep level to the ground rather than all the way down. Last one. Walk it forwards a little bit more. And now just relax over. Release the arms. Lift the head. Reach the arms forwards. Use your abdominals. And sit nice and tall. We're going to do that 4 more times. Roll it down. The ball is in the lower spine. Support the head. Go all the way down for the first one, and then exhale up into your abdominal curl. Level to the ground. Exhale. Two more. Walk it away a little bit, and then relax. Reach the arms out. And then we're going to come up, reach the arms forwards, chin to chest, roll up. Good. Let's do that again. Roll it out. Ball into the lower spine. Support the head. All the way down for this first one. Exhale. Level to the ground. Now walk it away a little bit. Drop the hips slightly, relax over the ball, stretch your arms out. And let's walk it back up into seated. Okay. We've done 3 sets of 5. If you want to, stop the video now and do 2 more sets. Otherwise, we're going to go on to the next exercise. For this one, it's going to be a little bit of balance work. Arms are going to be out to the side. And we're just going to start with a really easy knee lift. The idea is to keep your hips nice and stable. Stay up there. Feel the wobble. Place it down. Lift the other leg. And place it down. Lift it again. Place it down. Lift it again. Place it down. This time, if the knee bend feels easy, do a leg stretch. Remember to stay tall through the spine. Leg stretch. Another one. Working quite strong with the long leg here for your hip flexors. And work your tummy muscles. Pull in with the belly button. Lift the chest. One more. Straight legs. Really switching on all those muscles. Good. We're going to try and do a little bit of a knee bend with a rotation. So for this one, fingertips just touches the outside of the ears. Lift and rotate without falling off your ball. Knee bend and rotate. Good. Knee bend. Back to center. Knee bend and rotate. Knee bend and rotate. Stay tall as you spiral upwards with your rotation. Good. Remember to keep your shoulders relaxed. I hope you're all doing this exercise with me and not just watching. Nice. 2 more to each side. Keep your chest lifted. Try not to hold your breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. center. Good. Roll those shoulders. Some of you might have found it quite hard on the shoulders as well. Roll it around and opposite direction. So in the seated position, it's really nice to use the ball to stretch into the hips. So make the legs nice and wide and then just swivel to one side. Get the ball right in the middle. And you should feel a long stretch there on the side, on the outside leg. So what I'm doing is I'm swiveling over to the left. So I'm swiveling to the left. I'm feeling a long stretch here in my right hip. Lifting that arm and then just gently leaning back slightly. Gives me more stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And one more. Come back into center. Swivel over to the right. Toes are tucked under behind. Good. Play around with the position of the ball. Make sure that you're stable. And there's nothing close by that's going to injure you if you fall off. And it's going to be inhale. And inhale. And inhale. 2 more. Last one. Okay, one more on each side. Swivel to the left. Tuck the toes under. Last time we went left, we were exhaling up. Now we're going to inhale. Release. Three. 4. 5. Back to center, swivel to the right. This time, exhale up. Exhale. 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 Okay, back into center. Now have the legs nice and long, and we're just going to slide down with the left arm down the left leg, and then lift the right arm up and reach it over. Feel that lovely openness on your sideline of the right side of the body. Inhale, and come back up again. Slide down the right leg, reaching it up and over. Inhale and come back up again. We'll do that again a few times. Reach up and over and reach up and over. One more. Good. Let's just roll the shoulders again. Get lots of movement in all of your joints and then roll it forwards. One last mobility work exercise on the ball, then we're going to take it down onto the mat. Hold on to the opposite shoulders. Go into lateral flexion, forward flexion, lateral flexion, extension, lateral flexion, forward flexion, lateral flexion, extension. Just give you a side view. Lateral flexion, forward, side, back, side, forwards. One more in this direction. And change direction. Back, side, forwards, side, back. Move slow. Breathe deep. And finish in seated. Now we're going to come down into kneeling. Place the ball close to you. Place your elbows onto the ball. And then we're just going to roll a little bit. Just warming up, roll onto the elbow. Good. After you've done a few of those, we started in a position when we are slightly bending forwards. What I want you to do now is stay tall, have your hands sort of on the down side of the ball, close to your tummy, and then from there, keep your body straight, and you're leaning into a half plank, and then coming back. Readjust if you need to. So look, I'm going into my half plank. The ball is away from my body. Still away from my body. But hopefully my ankles, my knees, my hips and my shoulders is in one line. Quite strong work in your core muscles here. And your shoulder muscles. Go out on the exhalation. Inhale. And exhale. Roll it out. And then we've got two more. This should make you really warm. And one more. Really make sure your glutes is activated here. So squeeze those gluteals throughout this movement. That's going to help you stay in a straight line. Ah, good. Okay. Sit down and then just reach out in a version of the child's pose with the ball. Long arms. Good. Roll the ball over to the left. Do nice deep breaths in here. And over to the right. And back into center. We're going to do a little bit of arm work. Really nice to do arm work with the ball because your whole body is supported, so it's a little bit of less work on the arms. Okay, get to the end of your mat. Lean over the ball and walk it out. not too far. You want to have the ball underneath your hips, and make sure that your legs is switched on. It's not sort of just lying there floppy over the ball. Keep it switched on. And then keep your shoulders over your wrists. So don't be in this position or over here, shoulders over the wrist. Now imagine that line between your index fingers. Your nose is aiming towards that line. As your head lowers, your body will lift up behind you. A bit of a seesaw action here. And yes, your elbows stay tucked in. No chicken winging out to the side. We're going to do 10 of these, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Just come off the ball, and again let's stretch it out into the ball version of the child's pose. And come back up into kneeling. Good. So for those of you who came to the class last week, I think it was just the Monday classes, we did a really good version of having the ball under the leg inside kneeling kick exercise. So you are going to get your left leg under the ball in this position and place your hand underneath your shoulders. Now for some of you this might be quite a bit of a challenge, so I'm going to suggest that if you've got a few books, you can place a few books right underneath your hand. You can have your hand flat on the ground, or you can have it in a bit more of an upright position with your fingers pressing down, or even in a fist position. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Make sure that your hip, instead of sinking back like this, you want to press it open forwards. And then for some of you, just being in this position is just going to feel like a stretch. And for others, maybe a bit of movement is going to be possible. So the movement we're doing here is just rolling forward slightly without leaning back with the shoulders, and then taking the ball back. Again, without leaning forwards. So bring it forward slightly. See how I'm flexing my ankle? Point the toes to the back. Flex to the front. Exhale to the back. Inhale to the front. To the back. Keep the hips pushing forwards. One more. Well done. Let's try the other side. Really works on your glutes. Okay. Place your right leg on top of the ball. Again, choose your hand positioning. I'm going to go for the fist. Get those books on this side if you need them. Okay, so we're going to focus on keeping the upper body stable, keeping this hip pushing forwards. Flex forwards, point it back. Inhale, exhale. Head in line with spine. Keep on pushing forwards. really does work the side of the gluteals. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a side flexion exercise. So for this one, you can place your feet against the wall. I'm going to go with no feet against the wall. So if you're going to do this against the wall, your feet will be pressing against the wall. You want the ball to be just underneath the hips, not under the armpit. And then from here, we're going to just lean over the ball and then go for a side flexion. Exhale. Woo! Inhale. Wait. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Small movement. Much easier with your feet against the wall. We go for 5, and then we just reach it over into a nice side flexion exercise. Now, if that felt a little bit too difficult for some of you, having the arms in this position, you can also just have your hand resting on the ball like this and use it for a little bit of help. Your range of motion will be bigger because you've got support, but that's an option for those of you who are finding this a little bit too much of a challenge. Remember to listen to your body and do the exercise that you feel you have most control over. We'll try the other side. Top leg is in the front, bottom leg is in the back. Okay, ready? Try and stay balanced on the ball. Woo! This is not a perfect exercise video. Wait until we get to month 3 of the coronavirus. I would have it all under control. And it will be far more professional than today's. 2 more. There we go. And remember, for those of you who feel the hand position there is a little bit too much, you can hold on to the ball and then come into lateral flexion. You can also just have your hand actually going onto the ground. There's lots of variations that you can do here. You can just bring the arm over and back. So just play around with that one. Okay, next we are going to come back into standing. We're going to have our knees just sinking into the ball as much as we can. Hold on to the ball on the other side, so you have a little bit of pressure of the ball into the knees. And then the back is going to be, instead of being in a flex position, we have it in a nice long straight spine position. Good. We're going to do an opposite arm, opposite leg lift. Reach long, bring it back. Reach long, bring it back. Exhale as you reach. Inhale, bring it back. One more. Now we're going to reach and bring the knee to the elbow. Reach, knee to elbow. reach, knee to elbow. 3, 4, 5. Change over, do the other side. Reach, knee to elbow. Reach, knee to elbow. Reach, knee to elbow. 2 more. And last one. Good. And come down into your knees, onto your knees, and into a child's pose stretch. We're going to go back onto our into a lying down position. Make sure that your head is not supported by any pillows. Have the lower part of the legs and the ankles resting on top of the ball. Arms can be nice and wide. Palms facing down to help you with a little bit of balance. And lift the hips up. Lifting onto your shoulder blades. Try not to lift onto the neck. And this is a gluteal exercise, so squeeze those butt muscles. Three, nice and slow, control the movement of the ball. Next one, we're going to adjust slightly. We're going to bend the knees. Roll the ball towards your bum. Bend the knees. Roll the ball to the bum. Keep those knees together. Reach it out long and lower. Lift. Roll the ball in. Out and lower. 3, 4, 5, and last one. Now we're going to roll the ball in and then we're going to lift our hips. Again, we're lifting onto the shoulder blades. Roll it in. Lift the hips on the shoulder blades, not the neck. Lower the hips, roll it out. And rest. Lift, roll it in. Push up with the hips. Lower the hips. Lower. Two to go. Work those butt muscles. Last one. Roll out. And now bring the ball in. We're going to do a little bit. It's very, very tiny little rocking from side to side. Mobilizing the lower spine. And then we're going to take that rocking a little bit further. This is now starting to activate your oblique muscles, your waist muscles. And now go much further. But keep your shoulder blades on the ground. Remember to work with the breath, so out to the side on a breath, back into center on a breath. Out to the side, exhale. 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 And exhale. Now see if you can take the ball just between the legs in this position and then just lift it up and lower down. Lift it up. So we're going to start to work with your lower abdominal muscles. As you lift it up, can you press your lower spine into the floor and try and lift the tailbone away from the floor. You can change your hand positioning. Ball back down on the floor. 4 and 5. Good. Now we're just going to lift the ball, stretch the legs for 1. Ball down. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now can you lift the ball up towards the ceiling? For 1. For 2. Press down through your palms as you do this. Exhale. Exhale. 4. And exhale. 5. Now just reach it up. Little rock from side to side. 1. 2. Keep the knees bent if the spine doesn't like that. 3. 4. 5. And down you go. Okay. We're going to keep the same position with the legs. Just come up into seated. Bring the ball back there. This time you're on your elbows. Okay. A little bit of a game there with the ball, getting it in the right position. Good. So from here, we're going to roll to the side and roll the hips onto the side. Back into center. Look what my arms are doing. I'm reaching away with the hand behind me. Center. Roll to the side. Okay? So let's start doing that together. Let's all roll over to the right first. And right. Roll. Center. Left. And right. Onto the side of the hips. And left. And right for 3. And left. For 4. And 4. And 5. And 5. Good. And then come back up into kneeling. And reach out long. Nice deep breathing here. Okay. I hope you're still feeling good. We've done quite a lot of exercises here today. I'm going to do one more strong one with you. This is a version of the plank. You are going to be on your elbows. You're going to tuck your toes under and we're going to lengthen out into the plank. So on the exhalation, and again, and again, and 2 more, and last one. While we are here, we're going to do a few push-ups. So again, try and keep the body nice and straight. We're not pushing our bums out here. So it's low to the ball and push away for 1. You'll feel a right wobble in your arms for this one. And 3. We're going to do 10. Keep those elbows in. 4. Squeeze your gluteals. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Well done. Reach it out long. We're going to do a little bit of stretching now before you can enjoy the rest of the evening. Stay in a kneeling position. Try not to tuck your toes under. I know some of us have problems with that. And just reach your left arm away to the side and then reach over. Come back up. And again, reach out. And back up. And last one on this side. Let's change it around to the other side. Reach the ball out and reach over for 1. For 2. For 3. And last one. Now sit in a nice wide leg positioning. Ball in the middle and then just reach it forwards. Back up tall and again reach it forwards. And again. Good. We're going to come back into a seated position. One leg stays bent, the other one is going to stretch away from you and pull the toes in towards the shins. And then just long spine, reach towards the straight leg. Someone's asking for dinner. Come back up. Reach out long with the opposite leg. And then just make sure it's a hinging over the hip joint. And then come back up again. To open up the chest and for some relaxation, some of you might want to just adjust this exercise slightly. You're you're going to come down with the ball in the middle of the spine and then gently release and relax over the ball. If you find that that's a little bit too much, have the ball more towards the upper part of the spine so that your head is fairly supported with the ball, and then you can still have a little bit of relaxation over the ball. And just stay here, rock around a little bit. Do a few arm circles. And then gently come back up into a seated position. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Make sure that you listen to your spine. Stop whenever you don't feel very well after doing any of the exercises, or stop just if you needed to go back and see what we've done previously. Otherwise, I will create another video for us for next week. I will also create a few more videos where we can look at a few other things like mobility and flexibility, and let me know if there's anything specific you would want me to focus on. Until next week, bye!